Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Nitrostorm here. Welcome back to RevivedWitch. So I'm a little late, but happy new year. Hope you had, a decent, at least a decent holiday season. Now that we've hit 2023, we also hit the reset for our monthly shop. So before I start, as per usual, please go to we'll first start off by going to supplies to the white petal shop. Don't forget to buy all of the golden petals with your white petals. The golden petals are very important currency for buying URs from the golden petal shop, which we'll visit in a moment. But we're not done yet for the monthly buys. Don't forget to go to Chronospace Breach. The UE has reset. If you have a plethora of blue orbs remaining, you can buy a UE so that you can transform this into golden petals, especially if you have her 3-starred already. Also, you can buy these, but these are weekly stuff, so I'm not going to mention that. Last but not least, go to the unique equipment section, scroll all the way down to the soul dust, soul ore, and soul essence. Buy all of that, right? Buy all of this. This is very important upgrade materials for your unique equipment, especially the soul essences. These only reset monthly, so be sure to grab these every month. And there we go. So the purpose of this video is to check out who is the newly added UR to the golden petal shop. Now by newly added I mean just updated. They're not necessarily new URs. Okay, so we have Dark Anemone for the UR and In and Lu for the SSR. So obviously both are not new, and we now have Dark Anemone. So there's a few things that I want to clarify. First of all, first things first, I don't have Dark Anemone on either of my accounts, so you could say that my analysis of her would be just what I've analyzed on paper, and so you can keep that in your mind for when I do this video. So I'm gonna quickly bring her up on the RevivedWitch database website, which I've been linking through my videos, but I'll link it again on the description here. Alright, so I've got the database open now. Now let's take a look at Dark Anemone. So I'm doing it like this because, as I've mentioned, I don't actually have her on either of my accounts. So we'll max these out at level 5, as per usual. Since the characters that I've been reviewing in my character review videos are normally shown at max skill levels, I'll be doing the same for Dark Anemone. Now I do have a character analysis of her in the past, so I am gonna link that as well if you wanted my opinions when she first came out. And she does also have a unique equipment that you can buy on the unique equipment shop because she is non-limited, and so you can buy it so you can get to level 20. But in order to max her out, you would need to basically pull for her unique equipment again when she comes out. Her unique equipment is this one, Malevolence. We'll take a look at her skills, her passive on the UE after we take a look at her skills. So her first skill is called Bind of Desire. It hits the enemy's back row 3 times, each time dealing physical damage equal to 105% of attack, totaling 315%. Every hit scored adds 1 stack of Dark Bind lasting 15 seconds, which is a debuff. When stacked to 6 times, hits the target once, dealing physical damage equal to 180% of attack. And then for the next 10 seconds, Anemone skills deal 30% more damage to the same target. So that's quite a lot of stuff there to note. And it only costs 2 order, so it's very cheap. Since it hits 3 times and then the stacks go to 6 times, we'll do it in a way where for every 2 casts, for every 4 order used, the total damage that Anemone will be dealing is 315% plus 495%, which is 810, I think 810% total for the cost of 4 order. So obviously the first character that we're going to be comparing Dark Anemone to is Isabel, mainly because they both target the enemy's back row, but with some differences obviously. So in terms of Isabel's first skill, is 450% of attack with a dispel, right? For the cost of 3 order. So technically speaking, damage per order for the first skill, Dark Anemone, does deal more damage in terms of the order skill. So let's go back to Dark Anemone and take a look at her chaos skill. So her chaos skill is called Avenge. It costs 4 chaos to use, deals physical damage equal to 180% of attack to all enemy targets. For the next 10 seconds, it increases crit chance by 10% and inflicts execution on enemy targets, which is a debuff. So for the next 10 seconds, when the target takes damage, it will take additional physical damage equal to 30% of Anemone's attack, and then this effect cannot stack. So in terms of chaos skill, obviously since it's an AoE, it will since it's an AoE and it's only 1 hit, technically speaking, compared to Isabel's single target chaos skill, Dark Anemone's damage for the chaos skill is significantly less. So we'll quickly take a look at Isabel's chaos skill here. Consumes all the existing chaos energy to hit the target in the back row 5 times, each hit dealing damage equal to 260% of attack. So 5 times 260, that is already 1300 multiplier, compared to Dark Anemone's 180%. So as you can see, we don't need to go even deeper into the analysis of Isabel, but yeah, you know, this is where Dark Anemone falls off compared to Isabel. And so now let's take a look at her passive, Brutality. After combat begins, increases crit damage by 10% every 10 seconds up to 50%. So her passive maxes out at 50% crit damage after 50 seconds, which is, you know, not really the best passive considering the state of the game. You kind of want to finish content as soon as possible, and giving your passive a 50-second, you know, a 50-second timer, you know, it's not really not that good. And then, you know, one more comparison to Isabel's passive. Each time Isabel casts Break Free, which is the first skill, increases Isabel's crit chance by 7.5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Which is, you know, pretty nice. Also, one thing that I forgot to mention, it only costs 3 chaos to use for a massive multiplier in single target damage, compared to a 4 cost AoE with a multiplier that is not necessarily that good. Now obviously you can argue about the additional physical damage, but in order to compensate for the lack of initial damage, you would need to hit the enemy, the same enemy 30 times to get the same amount of damage that Isabel does in 1 cast. But yeah, as I've mentioned, the reason why I compared Isabel to Dark Anemone is because, you know, the main role, at least for the first skill, is the same target, you know, enemy back row, and then Dark Anemone has an extra AoE for the second skill. So now let's take a look at her unique equipment. and then we'll max it out. When there is an enemy target with health below 50%, the increases Anemone's damage dealt by 56%. So this one's actually pretty nice. Nice damage boost after the enemy's health goes below 50%. And this is assuming you get a dupe. Now, if you don't have a dupe, then the maximum level you'll have a 42% damage increase. So it's actually not that much of a difference. Of course, you'll be missing out on extra stats, right? But at least with in terms of the passive, you're not really missing out on much. But yeah, overall, Dark Anemone is pretty decent, right? She does have a very nice S1. As I've mentioned, technically, damage-wise, like in terms of multipliers, it's better than Isabel. But if you already have Isabel, then there's no point in purchasing Dark Anemone through the Golden Petal shop. Now, let's assume you don't have Isabel, right? Should you get Dark Anemone? In my opinion, if you don't have Isabel and you do want a single target damage dealer, there are technically other options that you can consider. But Dark Anemone's S1 is pretty nice. Nice multiplier, only costs 2 order. Her downside is that she has an AoE S2, high cost, and doesn't really do that much damage. So I would buy Dark Anemone if you have an excess of around, let's say, if you have around 250, I think. If you have around 250 golden petals, then it's relatively safe for you to buy Dark Anemone. Just keep in mind, if you don't have her unique equipment before, you're only going to be able to have 1 copy from the unique equipment shop, and you have to pull for the second one if you want to raise the level cap further. But yeah, that's about it for this video. Apologies if it took quite a while. If you have any more questions in regards to Dark Anemone or RevivedWitch in general, do let me know that in the comments below. It's been your boy Nitrostorm. I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Peace.